Welcome to Concept Craft. We are presenting step-by-step videos training to crack your certification exam, so you can gain the confidence to take on any accounting challenge. Now let's begin our today's lesson.
Adding vendors. Learning outcomes. In this lesson, we'll cover adding a vendor to the vendor list. Topics: about vendors, vendor details, clients need vendors. Whether clients sell products or provide professional services, they're likely to have vendors to provide them with goods or services needed for their business. It is, therefore, useful to store vendor information. How can QuickBooks Online help? The vendor list in QuickBooks Online allows clients quick access to their vendors. Here, they can manage all accounts and see outstanding balances in one place. About vendors. Vendors will work with your client's business to provide goods or services. Payments to vendors are money-out transactions. Once vendors have been set up in QuickBooks Online, clients can do two things. Firstly, they can quickly enter vendor bills and include information such as the tax ID, remit to address, and the due date. Doing this will pre-populate this information on purchase orders, bills, checks, or expenses. Secondly, they can keep track of expenses by vendor and run reports that will provide insight into what expenses are purchased from each vendor and how much they are paying each vendor. Adding a vendor. When adding a new vendor, add as much information as you can about them in the vendor information screen. Select expenses from the left-hand navigation, then select vendors. Select new vendor. Note that with the first vendor, an easy entry screen appears. Enter the vendor details to the company name and name fields. Fill out the email field. The vendor display name field will automatically populate. This can be changed to either the company name or the first name of the vendor. Enter the phone numbers that align with that vendor. In the address section, enter the vendor's address. In the additional info section, under the terms drop-down, select the correct net terms. Leave the opening balance as 0. Enter an as of date if necessary, or leave it on the current date. Select Save. That's it. Vendor details. Let's look at what details your client could add about their vendors. Note that while not all the fields are required, they should aim to add as much detail as possible. Pro Advisor Tip. When managing your company's vendors, best practice would be to ensure that you collect a Form W-9 as you add new vendors. Use the link below to learn more about the Form W-9. Summing up. Learning outcomes. Well done. In this lesson, we covered adding a vendor to the vendor list. Knowledge recap. Now you can advise your clients on how to add vendors so they are accessible when entering their vendor data. Next steps. In the next lesson, we'll cover how to record basic cash and check expenses.